Meantime, the boss of the organisational part of the Liberal Party is noticing exactly the truth. Fake independents are going to cause trouble, and they are a recipe for chaos, not just in the return of the government, but imagine if they ended up in a position where they were able to tell Anthony Albanese which way the country should run. Now, sure, they have policies on more when it comes to climate change, but none of them are willing to have energy creation schemes like, say, wind farms in any of their electorates. No plans for that anytime soon. We know they want a National Integrity Commission so we can have a standing Royal Commission into question time scandals. But what else? What are their positions on tax? What are their positions on China? Because you see, government's more than just what Twitter wants to talk about all day, every day. It's more than just the trending topics that have a go at the government every single day. Well, as Andrew Hirst said today, that many in their network hold extreme left-wing views. This is 1,000% spot on, including a person who the Courier Mail was able to point out is a person who wants to unseat a Liberal around the seat of Groom, which is around Toowoomba. Now, this person at one point in time was openly bragging about the fact that when she was having meetings in her part of Australia to, get rid of that evil government, that Extinction Rebellion was some of the people they had in the room. But now, no, that was never, not part of it whatsoever. But of course, try as they might to be the fake independents, the reality is, who is backing them? Well, hardcore Greens, in fact, the biggest Green donor of all time, has now flipped to the fake independents. Because it's not about forming a government, it's about getting rid of this evil one. Now, all of this is about money in part because what it does is it forces the Liberal Party to spend money in seats that they would not have previously had to spend money in. Hence why Josh Frydenberg has a giant electric billboard that'll be up for the next couple of months. Now, no electorate should be taken for granted, but rather than fighting on the places that they need to win in, they need to have a go at these places where the jerks with mercs want to run as fake independents, pretending to be former Liberal voters. None of them have voted Liberal in their life. And certainly they haven't voted for this government when it was led by Scott Morrison or Malcolm Turnbull or Tony Abbott, and they probably didn't like John Howard either. So exactly when did they vote for the Liberal Party at a federal level? Could somebody somewhere who does these softball interviews ask them that question? But of course they don't want to, because the media, in many ways, well, they're turning around and doing the business for them, doing their best, trying to pretend that, oh, this person's just been radicalised by the nastiness of the Morrison government. That's the person running in the seat of Boothby in South Australia. And then they run opinion polls that say things like this. In the Financial Review over the weekend, the independents, well, Allegra Spender, 27% of the vote, that's ahead of Labor. Once you put Labor, the Greens and Spender together, they would win that seat from the Liberal Party in Sydney. Of course, we need action on climate change, but no wind farms anywhere in Wentworth. Meantime, in North Sydney, the fake independent is at 20%. Again, put it together with the Labor Party at 22%. Throw in the Greens at 11%. Guess what happens? This poll, by the way, was not done by Newspoll. It wasn't even done by Resolve. It was done by the Australia Institute, which is a hardcore left-wing think tank with ties to the Greens. And the Greens are out there today telling all and sundry, we can't wait for a hung parliament because we get to power share. Oh, and by the way, if Labor ends up in a majority of 1 or 2 seats downstairs, guess which party they need to pass anything in the Senate? So either way, if Albo becomes PM, this is your Deputy Prime Minister, whether they tell you or not.